The Spirit of Time. Joshua was a curious teenager who loved reading about myths, legends, and mysterious phenomena. His favorite place was the old library in his town, a vast building with towering shelves filled with ancient books. On one of his usual visits, he stumbled upon an old, dusty book titled The Spirit of Time. The book described a tale of a village that existed centuries ago, where the people never aged. They lived in the same age they were when they first set foot in the village. Legends said it was because of the Spirit of Time, a mystical force that protected the village, freezing the age of anyone who entered its boundaries. Fascinated, Joshua read on. The book contained a map that supposedly led to the lost village. Without hesitation, he decided to embark on a quest to find it. After days of trekking through dense forests, following the map's instructions, Joshua finally stumbled upon the remnants of what looked like an old village. As he walked further, he noticed something strange. The people there looked ageless. Children played around, adults went about their chores, and elders sat chatting, but none of them showed signs of aging. A kind-looking woman approached him. "You must be new here," she said with a smile. "I am," Joshua replied, astonished. "I read about this place. Are you all really ageless?" The woman nodded. "Yes, it's the gift of the Spirit of Time. But remember, it's not without its cost." Joshua was puzzled. "What cost?" "Time may not touch us, but memories do," she explained. "We remember everything, every joy, every pain, every loss. Over time, these memories can become a burden." Joshua thought about his family, his friends, and all the experiences he would have. "But if you can live forever, isn't it worth it?" The woman sighed. "Living without aging is not the same as living a life. Time gives moments their value. Knowing that moments are fleeting makes them precious." Joshua understood. He realized that the true essence of life was to experience every emotion, every up and down, and to cherish every moment because it was unique. He thanked the woman for her wisdom and made his way back home. He had found the village and its secret, but he chose to embrace the passage of time, valuing every moment of his life. And so, Joshua returned to his world, armed with a new perspective on life and time, cherishing every ticking second. New cell phone. When Emma turned 16, she received the one gift she had been waiting for, a brand new cell phone. It was sleek, shiny, and boasted the latest technology. Her friends, all tech-savvy teenagers, had been flaunting their high-end devices, and Emma felt a bit left out until now. But this was no ordinary phone. The day after her birthday, Emma began setting up her device. She noticed a unique app pre-installed, named LifeLink. Curious, she opened it. A prompt appeared: connect with someone from your past. Intrigued, she pressed yes. Suddenly, the screen displayed an old video call log. The first name on the list was Grandpa Joe, her grandfather, who had passed away 5 years earlier. Thinking it was a cruel joke or some glitch, She hesitated but eventually pressed the call button. To her astonishment, her grandfather's face appeared on the screen. "Emma. Is that really you?" Tears welled up in Emma's eyes. "Grandpa? How is this possible?" "I don't know, sweetheart. This technology is beyond me. But I'm so glad to see you," he said with his familiar warm smile. Over the next few weeks, Emma reconnected with various loved ones she had lost over the years. She spoke to her childhood friend, Lily, who had moved away and lost touch, and even her pet cat, Whiskers. Word spread quickly, and soon Emma's friends, and even strangers, wanted to use her phone to reconnect with their past. The phone seemed to have a unique ability to bridge the gap between the present and the past. But as weeks turned into months, Emma began to feel drained. While the experience was heartwarming, it was also emotionally exhausting. The lines between the past and present blurred, and she started neglecting her current relationships, constantly living in memories. One evening, as Emma was speaking to Grandpa Joe, he said, "Emma, it's been wonderful seeing you. But remember, you have a life to live in the present. Cherish the memories, but don't get lost in them." Emma realized he was right. She decided to use the LifeLink app sparingly, cherishing the opportunity but also valuing her present moments. She learned that while technology can provide incredible experiences, it's essential to strike a balance and not lose touch with the reality around us. The new cell phone was indeed a gift, but the real gift was the lesson it taught Emma about life, memories, and living in the moment. To Oxford. Sarah's heart raced as she opened the letter with the logo University of Oxford embossed on the top. She had worked tirelessly throughout high school, aiming for this very moment. The dense forests of Maine, where Sarah had grown up, seemed worlds away from the storied halls and ancient stone buildings of Oxford. Her small town didn't see many of its residents venture far, let alone to one of the world's most prestigious universities. Reading through the letter, a smile spread across her face. She had been accepted. She was going to Oxford. The weeks leading up to her departure were a whirlwind. Between excited preparations and heartfelt goodbyes, Sarah felt a mixture of exhilaration and melancholy. Her parents, although proud, were apprehensive about sending their only child across the Atlantic. But they knew how much this meant to Sarah and supported her unconditionally. Arriving in Oxford was overwhelming. The city, with its historic architecture, winding alleys, and bubbling streams, was straight out of a fairy tale. As she walked through the Radcliffe Camera and the Bodleian Library, the weight of history pressed upon her. She was walking the same paths as many of the great minds of the past. But with this excitement came challenges. Adjusting to a new academic system, understanding thick British accents, and coping with homesickness made the initial weeks tough. Moreover, being amongst the brightest students from around the globe was intimidating. Sarah often found herself doubting her abilities, wondering if she truly belonged. One evening, after an especially challenging tutorial, Sarah decided to take a walk to clear her mind. She found herself by the river, watching as the Oxford rowing teams practiced. Their synchronization and effort were mesmerizing. A local, an elderly gentleman named Mr. Howard, seeing her fascination, struck up a conversation. He had rowed for Oxford in his youth and shared tales of victories, defeats, and the camaraderie of his team. He noticed Sarah's apprehension and offered some advice. Oxford isn't just about the books and the grades. It's about growth, experiences, and the relationships you forge. Remember, even the brightest here have their moments of doubt. It's how you overcome them that counts. Sarah took Mr. Howard's words to heart. She started engaging more actively in university life, joining clubs, participating in debates, and even trying her hand at rowing. With time, her confidence grew. Sarah excelled academically and made lifelong friends. Her Oxford journey was transformative, teaching her that while academic excellence is vital, personal growth and the bonds forged along the way are equally invaluable. Years later, as Sarah ventured into the world as a successful researcher, she often recalled her days to Oxford, a journey that was as much about self-discovery as it was about education. Fresh carrot. Jenna was known in her small town for her impeccable garden. Rows upon rows of vegetables, fruits, and flowers adorned her backyard. People often stopped by, not only to buy her fresh produce but also to bask in the beauty of her garden. Among all her plants, however, Jenna had a special love for her carrots. They were her prized possessions. One day, as the town was preparing for the annual Farmers' Fair, Jenna decided she would participate in the Best Vegetable contest. She had missed it the previous years due to her hectic schedule, but this year she was determined. She had a carrot in her garden, which she felt had the potential to win. It was longer, juicier, and had a more vibrant orange than any she had ever grown. As the day of the fair approached, Jenna took extra care of her special carrot. She watered it, kept pests away, and even talked to it, believing that a little encouragement would help it grow better. The morning of the fair, Jenna carefully uprooted her prized carrot. It was perfect. She cleaned it, placed it in a basket, and headed to the town square. The fair was in full swing. Children ran around, stalls with various produce were set up, and there was an air of festivity. The Best Vegetable contest was about to begin, and Jenna took her place among the participants. One by one, the town's best farmers showcased their vegetables. There were enormous tomatoes, crisp cabbages, shiny bell peppers, and so much more. When Jenna's turn came, she proudly presented her carrot. Whispers filled the air as people admired its size and color. Just when Jenna thought the prize was within her grasp, Mr. Thompson, an elderly farmer known for his eccentric techniques, stepped forward. He held a carrot, not as big as Jenna's, but there was something extraordinary about it. It had a unique hue, a gradient of red and orange. The crowd was intrigued. Mr. Thompson explained that this carrot was a result of years of crossbreeding different varieties. It was not just beautiful but was also packed with more nutrients and had a sweeter taste. The judges had a tough decision to make. After much deliberation, they announced a tie. Both Jenna and Mr. Thompson were awarded the title of Best Vegetable of the Fair. Jenna was surprised but delighted. She realized that while her method focused on size and external beauty, Mr. Thompson's technique brought out inner richness and quality. Post-fair, Jenna approached Mr. Thompson, expressing her admiration for his work. In the days that followed, the two of them exchanged gardening tips and techniques. Jenna introduced organic pest control in her garden, while Mr. Thompson adopted some of Jenna's watering strategies. The fresh carrot contest not only brought recognition to Jenna and Mr. Thompson but also sowed the seeds of a beautiful friendship. They realized that while competition has its place, collaboration and mutual respect bring about the richest fruits, or in this case, the juiciest carrots.